Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Gomez, the Deputy Chief Medical, CMD Medical Director, Dr. Jang, our Provost, Professor Ogun, members of the University of the Gambia Dental Medical School, colleagues from Moherst. We are here just to have an update on where we are in terms of the construction of the dental school. This project started a couple of years ago, and as you are aware, the dental school is pivotal in meeting the health challenges of this country. We don't have enough dentists, so a couple of years ago we started with the first cohort of dental students. And these students are now at their fourth year. They have 2 more years to do. We have significant challenges to overcome because dentistry, like medicine, requires clinical space. And because of the current constraints in clinical space, this project was conceived to address the problems. Now, you can see the consultant. Let me also take the opportunity to thank the consultant, Mr. Ndong, for the work that they have done. Because building in a constrained environment, I'm coming from the building environment, so I know what it means. A very difficult challenge. And they have been creative enough to have temporary accommodation. Although, as you mentioned, this temporary accommodation became permanent because of changes in design. But to move forward, there are funding grabs. When this project started, I think the government committed $28 million to it. They have put in some of the money, but there are still gaps, and those gaps need to be addressed. The University of Gambia also, because of the urgency, we've had to commit some of our funds to ensure that the project is going on. But there has been a challenge, and the project has been at a standstill for quite some time now. So what is required is for the necessary funding to be made available. And we've appealed through the good office of the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology to facilitate that. And he's here because we know he's very committed to ensuring that the dental school is completed. Because once it is completed, we'll be able to expand capacity to where we are at the moment. I think the first cohort, second cohort, we had something like 10, 15. And if this school is completed, this dental school is completed, we should easily be able to deliver or at least absorb 25 students at a time. And that will make a significant difference in terms of the support to the government's agenda in transforming the health sector. So let me just conclude by thanking the team. Mr. Ndong, I know it's been challenging as an architect, but you have been there to support the university to ensure that this project is going on. I would also like to thank the contractor for the work so far. I think the structure looks very good. All we need now is to move on to the next stage, where resources are made available for the project to be completed. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the commitment and dedication to transforming this medical school, University of Gambia. Thank you very much.
It's basically a dental school for the University of the Gambia. And once completed, it should have all the facilities to be expected of such a school. On the ground floor, basically it's a 3-story building. On the ground floor, you have the administration side, offices for the dean, his secretary, and admin. You have doctors' lounges, you have nurses' stations, obviously you have the reception. You can see that we have 2 stairs. One is a means of escape, alternative means of escape. And then we have a ramp that will take you to the 1st floor, where we have an operating theater, where we have 4 laboratories, phantom hair laboratory, and dental laboratory, basically, and then lecture rooms. So each of the floors also have lecture rooms. Again, lecture rooms that will have all the modern equipment that is to be expected for the university. And then on the top floor, where we have basically male and female wards. If I'm not mistaken, I think each one of them will have 5 patients at a time, more lecture rooms and lounges, And on the third floor, the top floor, there's a kind of town hall where sort of large meetings, conferences could be held, and also the backup solar and stuff. So everything about the building, from the design to the equipment, is designed to be environmental and durable, And also, this building sits on the site of the audiology building, where the ENT, for those who don't know, is the ear, nose, and throat section of the hospital was. So those have now been housed on a building that has been built, and they have been moved. And also there are 4 other clinics, basically psychology, maternity, and stuff. And those also have now been housed in a building. Those buildings had to be built before the building that they were paying had to be demolished, and the new building to stand here. I think coming on the entrance, there's a signboard, and you can see how the completed building is expected to kind of look like. So there have been challenges to get to this point. There have been a few delays, and one of those is we know Banjul, and we know that the water table is very high. And 2 years ago, we had very, very heavy rains. So this whole site had to be, mass excavation had to be done, with all the rubble carried away and kind of brought back in. So that took a lot of time. So constantly had pumps, getting the water out, because the foundation had to be very deep for a building of this structure. And it also happened to be in the height of COVID, so that also contributed to, delays in the building. And also, like I mentioned, the temporary buildings that had to be temporary, not so temporary, I should say, that had to be, built before this building could be done. And, above all, finance. Finance has also been a challenge. And to this end, I also need to thank the contractor, because they have submitted a certificate for a long time now, and that has not stopped them from doing what they can on site. So I think that also needs to be acknowledged. What the doctor has said, every building, I think, has a driving force. And I'll be remiss not to mention Dr. George and the efforts that he has been doing. He's been calling me every hour. That's imaginable about this building. And he's just doing it for love of country.
Honorable Minister and my senior colleague, the Vice Chancellor, we are, and our team from the university, the hospital, the consultant, the contractor, as you can see, this is a huge responsibility on the hospital and, of course, the dental clinic, the family medicine department, having to be able to accommodate a place for a construction of such a magnitude within the clinical environment. So I always tell them, yes, we need this. This is progress and this is development, but we need to do it quickly and get out so that we can be able to proceed. But I know that these things are not as easy as it's been said. We have been working very closely with both the university, the ministry, to make sure that this work goes on as quickly as possible. I want to be I won't be fair if I didn't put this up for the team, the very senior dental surgeons who have been very, very instrumental in making this project a success. Dr. George, Dr. Sambedo, who has been very keen to make sure that we push very hard to make sure this dream comes true. Having dental surgeons in this country will help a lot. We have never had this before, and in fact, the best you can get it is in Banjul. Beyond Brikama, you won't get any dental surgeon to see you. So having this is something that should have happened long before now. If we're having it now, then we should rush it to make sure we yield the fruits of this labor quickly, so that we relieve the public from the burden of dental issues that they have to deal with. So on behalf of the hospital, the Minister of Health, and of course, my patients and my staff that are here. I want to thank the Honorable Minister to making the effort to be here himself, to see by himself, and the effort he's making to make the funds available for this project to continue. Thank you very much, the media, for coming to meet us here, and of course the contractor and the consultant. Thank you very much, the Vice Chancellor. Thank you.
Yes, today we are in transit. We are in transit in Banjul. You must have noticed that our destination, final destination, the flight is on, and our final destination is Farababanta campus. That's our final destination. But we are in transit in Banjul just for some months to accomplish a mission. Then we continue the flight so that we land in our beautiful airport called Farababanta, and that's where the University of the Gambia is, and that's where excellence will be housed. But here in Banjul, we decided to come under the instruction of His Excellency President Barrow to inspect the work going on, and because it has stalled for a while, and because of funding, and this is internally generated funds. That's all coming from the Gambia government, not from development partners, from taxpayers' money. So this is so His Excellency instructed that this work needs to be completed. The way we push for Faraba, we must also push for the School of Dentistry here in Banjul. And when we push with God's hand, the work will be accomplished under the support of His Excellency the President and all stakeholders. So in the coming months, this place will be completed. The President has given instruction for funding to be provided, over 30 million dollars to be provided for as extra funds to really support for the completion of this work. So that's the assurance I want to give the health community and also the university, the Vice Chancellor and his team, that government the government is ready, as the President reiterated it yesterday when you paid that courtesy call on him. He's ready to champion, the development agenda, the transformation agenda of higher education. And that's why he's willing to invest. And that's why he doesn't want to wait for anybody, any funding elsewhere. Our own funds will be mobilized to build and complete this school, so that for the first time in the history of the Gambia, we have a school of dentistry. So that in 2026, the first batch of homegrown dentists will graduate from Banjul. That is the message. Homegrown. Remember, we talked about homegrown engineers. We are now talking about homegrown dentists, so that we will have more of the dentist George. And I want to thank him sincerely for the enthusiasm, the determination, because you see, this is the mindset. You don't want to say, I'm the only Gambian, I'm the only dentist here. You want to have a legacy, so that when you retire, you have others now to take over. You see? And I want to thank the government and the people of Nigeria for providing the necessary support with first-class professors also to help as manpower and other professors also within the department and within the School of Dentistry. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gambia government is ready to launch that transformation agenda and it is on. Today it is dentistry. Tomorrow at Faraba, tomorrow, but imagine coming in the coming months and years, it will be Faraba, because we've already developed a concept note and it's also funded through the UTG and Ministry of Health and all stakeholders and Ministry of Finance now to look for extra funds over $43 million to build a new structure at Faraba. That's going to be the third phase. For the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, that will include pharmacy. So that for the first time in the history of the Gambia, we can train pharmacists at that level also here in this country. But with state-of-the-art laboratory equipment that never existed since independence. That is the mindset. Even this one, this dentistry, the building is yet to be ready, but state-of-the-art laboratory equipment for dentistry is available. In fact, they're having problem of storage. So that's why they are in a hurry for this place to be ready so that they can start. In fact, before you came, they were thinking of even using the first floor once that is done so that they can put the equipment there and start using whilst waiting for them to complete the rest of the work and so on. So this is what is, but we will not stop there. Because you see, there will never be any sustainable development without a well-trained citizenry, but a healthy citizenry. So that's development. And that's why health is a priority among all priorities. And to address that, you need to have capacity, the necessary manpower. So that the Gambia of tomorrow will be handed over to the youths, but well-trained youths, well-equipped, but also with state-of-the-art equipment so that they can take charge of their destinies, take charge of the development of this country. So that's the reason why we are here, and to assure the general public that instruction is given by His Excellency President Barrow so that before the end of this year, this entire project to be completed. And in the coming weeks, funds will be disbursed by the Ministry of Finance for the work to be to continue so that it will be completed as soon as possible. And so that we have the students, the first cohort will really start experiencing a very conducive learning environment. But not only the students, but also the lecturers. So this is what we are looking for, and want to assure the Vice Chancellor that we will go for heavy investment. Education, quality education has a cost, and the government is conscious of that, and we will continue. Remember, at Faraba, we just finished the first phase, and we are now working on the second phase. And God willing, next year, we will all go back there and inaugurate those new buildings, the Chancery, 7 stories, and Faculty of Law, School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. But also, by that time, when we will be inaugurating those structures, the third phase would have been on. That is the construction of the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences at Faraba will be on, and will comprise medicine, nursing, public health, pharmacy, and so on and so forth. So this is what we are working on, and want to thank the contractor for a job well done together with the consultant, and want to apologize for the university community for the delay, but we want to assure you that action will be taken. And I know some were asking why, the force and the determination we use for Faraba, if we had used that for this, things would have. But, one at a time. Today we are in Banjul, and since we are in Banjul, God willing, with the support of everybody, and we give you the assurance that work will be done. And thank you very much.